Okay. Hi, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Michaeline and I were kind of chit-chatting and thought it would be super fun to mute you all. Just kidding. I am going to mute you. We thought it would be super fun to do a team call together to kind of just, put our heads together and come up with different ideas to talk with our teams on that maybe we've been hearing from you guys that you're struggling with, or areas that we have struggled with in the past and know are good areas to focus on. So tonight we're just going to talk about posting. I know some people might be sick of hearing me talk about this because I feel like everyone always asks me to talk about posting, and I don't know why, but I love posting. I love sharing stuff on social media, so I am fine with talking about it all the time. But for starters, I'm going to talk more about sharing your story and your journey, and creating posts to invite to challenge groups. And then Michaeline's going to kind of talk about creating posts to share the business opportunity. So the first thing I want to talk about is that the first thing that you have to do whenever you're thinking about posting, and I know that this can be kind of scary, is just pinpointing the fears or the reasons why you might be holding yourself back from creating posts or from putting little snippets of your story out there. You need to give it a name to identify it, and then you need to find ways to get over it. So for me, there was a lot of stuff, more so business related, that I didn't feel comfortable sharing for a while because, and it took some prodding and pulling it out of me, but because I had to come to terms with that my biggest fear with this business is having my motives misunderstood. So whenever I would put business posts out there or invite to the business opportunity, I would feel like people were going to misunderstand why I was inviting them to that. And it made me uncomfortable and it made me really afraid. But once I was able to give that fear a name, the fear of having my motives or just the fear of me being misunderstood in general, it made it a lot easier for me to identify when that fear was showing itself and just say, that's not legitimate. That's just a fear in me. That's a personal fear, and I should just post anyway. But before I was able to pinpoint and give that fear a name, I couldn't figure out what was going on. And so I just would get paralyzed by the fear and stop and not post about it. And then therefore couldn't invite and couldn't move forward with it. So the first thing I would do is, if you're struggling with wanting to share a certain part of your story, invite to challenge groups, invite to the business opportunity. If there's any part of this business or personal that you're afraid of posting about, I would encourage you to kind of just start maybe journaling, writing stuff down, and try to give that fear a name. So then therefore you can tackle it head on. So that is step one in making sure that your posts come across authentic and genuine and true to who you really are. Because yes, Michael.
Can you give us an example of that?
Like of my fear?
Like, what do you mean by identifying it and giving it a name? Like calling it like Frank or something?
No, its name is the fear of being misunderstood. I didn't know what I was afraid of.
I'm just kidding. But no, just an example of what you meant, like how you figured out that was like your fear and how you named it and moved on.
Actually, it was Kim Carver said, like, why do you feel like, basically I wouldn't invite to the business opportunity and I wouldn't even post about it. And he asked why. And I just said that I didn't want other people to feel pressured to do what I'm doing or share the same passions as me. And he said, people who know you for who you are never going to think that about you. And most people that are following you on Facebook for the right reasons see that quality in you and not what you think that they see. So that's a fear. That's not legitimate. That's not a real reason why you shouldn't post. You're not going to offend anyone. You're not hurting anyone except for you, because you're letting a fear paralyze you and making you put on brakes instead of, just proceeding. So until we kind of talked about it, and I was like, he said that's a fear of being misunderstood. I never had said those words before. Oh, I'm afraid of being misunderstood. But once he was able to help me work through that, talk to your upline, maybe they can help you work through that fear, or like a success partner or something, figure out what it is that's holding you back. But until I was able to pinpoint that, I just wouldn't do it. And then it was like the day that I was able to say, I have a fear of being misunderstood, I didn't give a crap anymore. It was like, nah, someone might misunderstand me, but I don't actually really care because those aren't people that I want in my business or in my life anyway. And it just became much more simple, much more black and white. That's a fear. It's not legitimate. These are the ways I can overcome it. Does that make sense? Does that help? Okay. All right, cool. So the next thing I want to talk about is just consistency with your posting. So a lot of times we talk about to our challengers all the time, consistency with their fitness and their nutrition, and consistency over time is going to yield results. Well, the same thing goes for posting in your business. If you're not consistent with your posting, people are not going to take you seriously. And by being consistent, I don't want that to be misunderstood, because I, for a long time, was the type of person that would see Melanie's posts at 5:30 in the morning working out, or see Katie's posts like first thing in the morning working out, and then I would beat myself up about not doing what they had already done at that point in time in the morning. But what I had to do was realize, okay, this is my schedule. This is my consistency. This is what I have to offer as a coach. I do not have to get up at 5:30 in the morning. That's not the type of coach I am. But when I get out of bed, there is something that I can post every single morning that people will look for. So for me, typically when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is post a gratitude quote, some type of inspirational quote to get my day started and get other people's day started. And then as my day progresses, my workout post is usually a little bit later on, later morning, stuff like that. So figure out what your consistency is and make sure that you're sticking with it. So a schedule for me might look like an inspirational quote or a quote about joy, or just a quote about having a great day first thing in the morning. And then a couple hours later, I usually try to post every 2 to 3 hours. A couple hours later would probably be my workout, because right after I posted that in the morning, I'll get up, do my morning thing, get my workout in, do my workout post. A couple hours after that might be, something random. And then every single evening or nighttime when my Facebook is highly trafficked. So my traffic time is usually like 9:30, 10. I'm a little bit later than a lot of other people. That's when I do my invite business opportunity or my challenge group invite posts. So I do a positive post, a workout post, and an invite post every single day. That's my schedule and how I work, all of that. As far as content for what you could be posting about, the first thing that you would want to do maybe is think about things that you struggled with before you became a coach, or things that have changed for you, or things that are different now, and create craft posts around that. So right now I'm working out with my husband a lot. So my posts are kind of about how I used to get really mad at him when he would take time away from spending time with me to work out. I would kind of judge him on that and say he was putting his workouts in front of time with me. But realistically, like looking back now, I'm like, I was the one that was in the wrong. I could have just worked out with him. That could have been our time together. So I'm kind of talking about how Beachbody and how working out at home and that whole journey has kind of shifted and kind of made, kind of flipped now. And like, I'm actually dragging him along through this workout because he's struggling right now with his workout schedule and so on and so forth. So that's kind of my invite post that I've been doing at night. I'm talking about working out with him, what's changed, how it's changed for both of us. And then the last part of those posts are typically like, we're starting a challenge group on December 14th. If you want to join us, like this post or send either one of us a message for more information. And that's what I would consider an invite post. But you could think of anything like non-scale victories. If you're talking about Shakeology, don't just hold up your shaker cup and be like, had my breakfast today. Talk about why you drink that for breakfast. Are you super busy? Are you always on the go? Did you used to skip breakfast? Did you used to drive through McDonald's? Talk about how you've replaced Shakeology or the products, how they've helped you in a certain way. The key to staying away from being salesy is to make sure that you share your journey with the products. And then people will be like, oh, this is how this has worked for her. She's not just trying to sell me a product. And make sure that you use you as your pictures. Find really great images or terrible images, whatever you want them to be, if you're sweaty or whatever, and just make sure that it's you, it's real life. It's not, Beachbody stock photos of Shakeology and whatnot. Hold on, I'm going to read this. Do you find the longer story posts the more engagement? Or do you find the shorter, more direct posts? Medium. So what I like to do is 2 to 3 sentences per paragraph and like only 4 paragraphs. So I'll do like an intro, maybe what I used to struggle with, what I've replaced it with, and then the call to action. So I'll be like, today I did hammer and chisel, blah, blah, blah. This is crazy because I never thought I would lift weights. If you would have told me a year ago I was going to be lifting weights, I would have told you you're crazy. What's changed for me is now that I'm like pretty much a badass. And then the last thing would be, if you want to be a badass with me, join my next challenge group. But keep it short, like 2 to 3 sentences per. Unless you're doing like a personal development post, which I'll throw in there sometimes. Those can be a little bit more long-winded, but just try to keep the like 2 to 3. Because when people see like long paragraphs, they're like, oh, hell to the no. She's on some kind of soapbox and I'm not going to read that right now.
So Taylor, let's say that you're doing one of those personal development ones that you're talking about. Like, where do you find like, I don't want to say where do you find the words because obviously like they come out of your brain, but like where do you find like the idea of that? So like if you read something in a personal development book and you think, oh, this would be a great post, like how do you pick what you're going to tie that into in your life and give it out there without being like people looking at you like, who does she, like, is she all of a sudden an author today? Like
I usually say, hold on, let me see if you guys can see this. I usually will say, like I listen to a lot of inspirational podcasts and this thought came across my head and this is how I feel like this thought was mentioned and this is how I feel like it applies to my life. I have like a notes in my phone that's just full of little, can you see that? Or is it just like a blaring now? Okay, so it's like just different little sentences. Like this one says, assume the mic is always on. Everyone will hear everything you say. So that would be something that I could craft a post around. Like maybe someone's being a Debbie Downer or something. I can use that and like create a post around it. Or action diminishes fear. Like that's just a little sentence that was pulled from personal development that I could tie into my workout. I could tie into just life in general. The bottom is crowded. You are different. You have greatness within you. Like just little snippets like that. And I can just kind of tie them into stuff that I feel like whatever triggers in your head whenever you read that, just talk about it. Like, so that's what's so great about personal development is that you and I can read the same things or hear the same things, but take it in conjunction with our lives so completely differently and reach different people with the same exact message. But people are going to hear it differently, respond to it differently, be attracted to it differently. So just take whatever that personal development inspires in you. Maybe you take your personal development posts and they tie into your workout posts. So maybe you are someone that gets up at 5:30 in the morning and you do your workouts, and the day before you read this great snippet of your personal development and you have a great picture of you working out and talking about how, you also like when you're doing your workout and you have these thoughts and then you craft a post around there. There's no right or wrong way to craft a post, whatever feels the best and most genuine to you. So I'm like kind of an emotional person. I go for the emotional, sappy posts like that. So that works for me. But if you're funny, go for the funny posts, like funny, whatever. There's funny people out there that want to be on your team and want to join your challenge groups and think that you're hilarious. So don't be afraid to just be whoever you are, true to who you are, and just talk about it. But you have to make sure that you're doing it consistently. So if you're a funny person and you're posting funny things, you better be funny every day, or at least every other day. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're someone that's known for posting like funny memes or something like that, if you're a recipe person, make sure you're sharing your recipes every so often, every week, because people are watching you whether you know it or think it or realize it or not. There's so many times that I don't post my workout and it's like midday, and I found that like people look at my workout posts when they're like on their lunch break, and like I'll get messages at like 4 p.m. like, are you going to work out today? I'm like, yeah, geez, I just didn't take a picture, like, or I have to have that conversation. I have no idea what you're talking about, Michaeline, but okay. Do you guys have any questions?
No, I was sending it to Katie because on the Power Hour the other day we were talking about Pinterest, and Katie was like, "I have this board called Make Me Laugh, and it has 2 pins on it, but it has a bunch of followers." We were like laughing so hard about the dumbest thing. It said,
That's so funny. Hold on, I lost my thought.
It said 6 weeks till Christmas, 5 weeks till I'm broke, or like something so dumb. Oh, okay. Anyway, maybe I should work on the funny posts for my page. I don't know where Taylor went. I can.
Sorry, Marley. Dave took the next 2 days off work, and he just decided that he's gonna like live at large. So he's out right now, and my dog's out of control. Anyways.
Okay. Do you still have more, Tay?
No, I mean, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. If not, you can message me if you want. Guys, I'm like so sore. I think it's taking all my brain cells.
Taylor loves messages. She wants to be on Facebook Messenger all day. So please make sure that you message her.
I much prefer a Voxer. Because then I'm alone a lot during the day, and then I don't feel like I'm talking to myself all day. But yeah, I'm like so sore. My quads and my hamstrings are absorbing all power from my brain, and my words are not coming out.
Every inch of my body is sore, actually. Like my arms, I haven't felt soreness in my arms and like shoulders and back and stuff like this in 2 years since I started the 21-day fix. It's something about Soggy's voice, man. He gets me pushing harder.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, so do you want to move on, or do you want to keep talking? Do you have something else to talk about, Taylor?
No, we can move on.
Are you sure? Does anybody have questions for Taylor? Because she's like the deep, like kind of like a philosopher type of person, and she's one that you want to ask like these serious questions to, because mine isn't so serious.
Yeah, and I mean, like, stuff will come to you. The other day I was, like, driving to work, and there are all these detours, and I was like, there's a life lesson in this. I can post about this. And at the time, I was like, mother effing all the detours, but I was like, no, I can totally handle this and turn it into a lesson.
And you nailed it, and I would never, even in a million years, that thought would never cross my mind.
You like those googly eyes behind me?
What is that? The Cookie Monster?
No. So my cousin Emily, she was like a real jokester, and she used to carry googly eyes around in her pocket, and she would like put them on inanimate objects when we weren't watching. And so like one time I opened my fridge and all my eggs had eyeballs. And like I had a peace lily plant, and she put googly eyes on it. So someone gave me those. They glow in the dark, but they're like, this corner is like my little Emily corner.
Are they sunglasses, or is it just big eyes?
No, they're just like big eyeballs, and they glow in the dark. So when I turn the lights off in here.
Well, next time you do a team call, you should have them on your face.
Or what if I do a team call sitting in the dark, but those are just glowing?
And you think you're not funny.
I'm funny.
Okay, so I am going to talk to you guys about a couple of post tips. A, posting about the business. B, in the moment post, since Taylor schedules most of hers and I can't schedule things for the life of me. And C, tying personal posts and business posts and still coming off genuine and not being like a, hey, look at me type of thing. So, okay, so whenever you're coming up with your business post, it's really important to actually give it some thought. You want to have a call to action for this one, and try not to use like comment below or message me as your call to action, because Facebook is a jerk and won't even show that to a lot of people in your newsfeed unless all of a sudden you like text like all your family and like close friends and tell them to hurry up and like it and comment on it so it pops up in people's newsfeeds. So make sure that you have some sort of call to action. And if you do have a one way of getting around the words of the Facebook algorithm is if you have an image. So even if it's just an image of yourself that you're posting, like go into PicMonkey or one of those editors and put like link in the comments or something like that, like on your picture. So then if you're putting a link to like a form or a Wufoo thing, then they'll know to go click on that without you saying it. So then that way Facebook will still keep showing it to people instead of thinking like you're trying to get over on them and hide it. So think about your call to action that you want to have. So if you are posting a business opportunity type of post, like it doesn't have to be for a biz op call or a group or anything like that, but if you're just going to be talking about the business and how it's benefited you in some way, then you want to have a purpose for that one. So think about it before you do it. Do you want to invite them to a sneak peek? Do you want to invite them to learn more about the business? Or do you want to invite them to like straight sign up and be a coach because you think that they're like awesome and you want everybody to be on your team? So think about that, because then that'll help you get an idea of what you're going to be talking about in that post. So, some business opportunity post ideas can be based around, freedom of schedule. It can be based around a little bit of financial freedom. You don't have to have full financial freedom to talk about your finances without like saying, okay, I make this much every week. But you can have like a financially driven one. You can have one that is based around just, what you like about the business, how it's benefited you or what positive things have come out of being a coach. So there's definitely a lot of different types of business minded posts that you can make where you're not just saying like, hey, I have a sneak peek coming up. Do you want to join? So talk about that and then tie it together. So tying personal posts and business posts together is the best, in my opinion, and most subtle way of putting it out there. And I don't mean like those posts that say like, thanks so much to Beachbody, like I get to stay home with my kids and you don't because you suck. Like some people take it that way. Like you don't want them to take it the wrong way where you're like constantly bragging, because nobody wants to be on a team with a coach who's just constantly bragging. I mean, I don't, but I don't know about everybody else, but I'm assuming that's like a general consensus. So what I do is I tie it in. So say I want to like, and sometimes it's so subtle that I think it's almost like a subconscious type thing. And I hope that people are getting my message that I'm putting out there, because like I'll say something, it could be like mid-morning or mid-afternoon, and I'll say like, I'm so thankful that I have freedom in my schedule, that I'm able to be at my son's Christmas show or whatever it is that you're going to be talking about, like without having to say like, thanks to Beachbody. Or if you're talking about a financial one where you're going to say, you're paying for vacation or something, think about when you're wording that a lot of people out there, no matter what job they have, can pay for vacation. You aren't this great creature that's paying for vacation because you're a Beachbody coach. Yes, your finances are adding to that, but that's being a Beachbody coach is not sending you on that vacation, unless it's the cruise, which they definitely are sending you on that vacation. But you can kind of come up with ways. So for me, I just put, whenever I did pay for our vacation home, I did that for our family last summer from Myrtle Beach. So I posted about it though, but I just said something like, all of my hard work is really paying off, and I'm so excited that I get to do something for my family and pay for the vacation home. So something like that, people know that you're a Beachbody coach. They see that that's what you do. Whether you have a full-time job and do this on the side, they still know that it's contributing to your income, that's contributing to what you're doing with it. So that one got me a lot of attention. I did another one that was about my Jeep, and it's the same thing. Like I just said, and I had like a post leading up to it. So I said, like it was a picture of the car, and I was like, this is my trusty Jeep. It's always reliable except for when I go outside and it just didn't start. I don't know why. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not even going to try to figure out why. But luckily, it wasn't a huge expense, but I was able to pay for it without having to worry about putting it on a credit card. So things like that. Those are the types of little things that a lot of people that are interested in becoming a coach are interested in. So you can see those posts where there's let's take one of the top coach posts. Like a lot of times you'll see them posting about, earn 6 figures in 18 months, or I earned X amount last month. And those are awesome. They're definitely like a huge goal to look at. But at the end of the day, that is very intimidating to a lot of people, especially people who want to do this for fun or just extra income or just want to pay like their mortgage or something. Like they're looking at it thinking like, wow, 18 months, like to make that kind of money, that's probably a lot of work. So for some people that's actually intimidating and it kind of puts them off a little bit. But these small ones that we work in as coaches that talk about the small finances that we're able to cover with our Beachbody money is what attracts people, because then they see that there's people out there who would love to just have an extra, $75 a week to cover their groceries. So it just depends on what your niche audience is looking for and play into that whenever you're doing the post. So think about who you're attracting or who you want to be attracting and craft the post around that. So that's tying personal and business together without coming off as a royal a-hole. I'll just say it that way. And then the other thing is posting in the moments. So Taylor comes up with a lot of scheduled posts, and it's awesome because then people know exactly what they're coming to her page for. But when you have those in the moment posts, which I think most of mine are like that, stop. Think about it, post it at that time. Don't forget about it. Don't wait 2 hours later. Take a second out of your day and make those in the moment posts, because usually those are the times that people get to see like the real genuine side of you. So, if you're out at a park playing with your kids, or if, you don't have kids and you're out shopping, or something pops up that you're like, oh my gosh, this would be really cool to share. Make sure that you stop for a second, and hopefully you're not driving or like something that's dangerous, but stop for a second and make a post about it, because then that's whenever people are going to see like, she is also normal. She's not just a scheduled robot. And I'm not calling you that, Taylor, because I know that you have in the moment posts too, but I'm just saying, like, along with your scheduled ones, make sure that you stop and have those in the moment posts too, because those are what I think a lot of people feel connected with you. And that's how you kind of hone in a little bit on that target market. So, I don't know if you guys have any questions about that or not. Taylor looks really like puzzled right now. I hope that she's understanding what I'm saying.
I am. No, I like all of those ideas. I would say that I'm not someone that's necessarily drawn to like coaches' financial posts. Like, they don't really speak to me. Whenever they put numbers out there and stuff like that, I'm kind of like, ooh, I didn't actually want to know that. But just there's a way to go about it where you can just like imply that there's been stuff that you've been able to do with your business, and you do not have to apologize for this being a business. Michaeline says that all the time. Like, when I've put posts out there before that I'm like, oh my God, why did I just do that? But I'm like, no, I've done something. Like, I put a post out 2 weeks ago. I actually did it because I had not hit Success Club yet, and I was like in a panic, but it was a Sunday night, and I was like, okay, I got to hit it hard here. So I did like a challenge group invite, a business kind of post, all meshed into one. And I just said, normally I would put Christmas on a credit card and then pay it off in the following months. But this year, my Christmas shopping is almost 100% done, and I paid cash for all of it. And then I just started talking about like Beachbody and if you wanted to join a challenge group. So I didn't say like how much. That could be like $1,000. It could be $100. Like, people don't know what I spend on Christmas, and that's kind of like up to them to kind of determine that. And then if they want to talk to me about it, they can. But I did get a lot of interest from it, and I hit Success Club. So
yeah, I think posts like that, especially this time of year, are really important. Like, my coach Allie did one last Christmas, and it was really, really good. And it talked about that, the same thing, like her Beachbody money. Since she does have a full-time job, people know that, like, her Beachbody money covered all of her Christmas gifts. And like she said, this was one of the first Christmases that I could buy nice things that I knew my family would really love, because I wasn't worried about putting it on a credit card and having to have like extra debt.
Yeah.
So I think that those types of financial posts are actually more attractive because, I mean, like I said before, that I think that the money posts are a little bit intimidating to people.
Yeah, I do agree with that. And I also think that, like, even if you're, we see top coaches posting all the time about how they have no debt and they're like financially free. There's like, so I refrained from posting about, you know, like my debt situation because I was like, well, there's so many coaches that are debt free. Like they're much more appealing. But at the same time, I was like, wait, no, at one time they were where I am in my journey. So I still haven't shared it, but I've been thinking about how this has just allowed me to be more consistent with my student loan payments. And I actually got a call the other day that said in the next, I think it's 10 months now, I can get my mom off my loans as a co-signer because of what I've like paid towards the principal. And that's all because of this, because I wouldn't normally have had that extra money to put on it. So I need to like talk about that and share that because there's a lot of people my age really, you know, eyeball deep in all of that. And there's something to be said for that and not feel embarrassed, but be proud of it.
Well, and that helps you to attract coaches that are similar to you that, you know, are going to have work well on your team
like
and mesh, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So the last thing I just want to mention really quick, Michaeline and I were talking about this is, hi Dave, is that, we know that this time of year it can be super stressful to invite, follow up, run challenge groups, you know, do everything, do all of it. So don't feel ashamed or like you can't buddy up with someone else or invite to what your upline has going on. So for example, my team, I'm inviting to the same group Katie Isaac is this month because it's just a lot. There's a lot going on. Hammer and Chisel launch. So that group has already started preseason. It's kicking off next week. I'm adding people to that as they want to do Hammer and Chisel. We're starting a general group on preseason on the 21st. We're going to do a Shakeology Shakeology Shakedown group on the 28th. And don't feel overwhelmed that you need to be doing all of those things too. That's why we work as teams. So when you're crafting these invite posts, whenever you're doing the invites, just invite to those things. Keep it simple so that you can really focus on your 3 vitals. You don't have to be running 4 million groups. You know, right now I too am just focusing on my 3 vital behaviors every single day. Right now is the most crucial time to be consistent in your posting and with your business because January is right around the corner. People are going to be like feeling terrible about themselves and making New Year's resolutions in January. That's the truth of the matter. If they've seen that you've been doing this the whole time, that they've been feeling terrible about themselves and you've been consistent about posting your workouts, posting your nutrition, posting your life and how, oh my God, my husband, and how you've just been staying on track throughout the holidays, you're going to be who they turn to. He just was like taking his shirt off and flexing on the other side of this computer. I can't even handle it. And then they're going to come to you and they're going to want to like ask you and talk to you about all of that. January, February are huge months for your business, so make sure that you're staying consistent now so that when those months roll around, you're who people are looking for and who they're coming to. The other thing is that you want to really focus on Success Club now because in January, the company gets a surplus of leads because of infomercials and people at like 2 a.m. being like, oh my God, I just ate a whole Christmas ham by myself and I need to do the 21 day fix. So if
I love those people. Keep it coming. I'm going to start delivering whole hams to my neighborhood. It's going to say eat in one sitting.
They're going to buy on the infomercial and that person's going to become a lead. And
Taylor, you are such a table smacker. It's insane. If anybody that's listening to the recording of this is wondering what that noise is the whole time, it's Taylor going crazy to get her point across. She has to smack the table.
Oh, am I really smacking the table?
Yes. Like so.
You know what? It's my Shaco cup. I'm going like this.
It's like Katie, but Katie's is a finger, and it's really loud.
She does. She gets her like pointer finger going, and I'm like, sometimes my face is like scared, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Your pointer finger is like deafening." You guys have any questions?
I say there has got to be a question. I have a question. Erin.
iPad loves it.
Okay, wait. Who is iPad? iPad, who are you?
It's Hannah.
Hannah, I texted you saying, where are you? And I never did that.
My phone's dying, so I stole my dad's iPad.
Oh.
I had a sneaking suspicion it was you, but you've been so quiet. Like, Hannah always has questions.
I know, I was trying to be creepy, like that movie, The Unfriended, where they have that person in the chat room.
I have a
Get rid of
question.
it.
What?
Erin, how do you look the way that you look right now? Like, did you spray your face with like a glow or something? Like, your skin just looks amazing.
Psych. Let me get a little closer for
No,
you.
it's like dewy looking and your hair's all full.
Well, we are recording, so I don't want to share all my beauty secrets with the people that missed out on this call, but I guess I will. Don't shower every day. Especially washing your hair. Don't do that. I curl my hair like once a week, and by day 3, it looks like this. And this is highlighter all over my face.
I curl my hair today. I hope it looks like that tomorrow. I keep pulling at it.
Mine never
Mine
looks
looks pretty
nice
good
on the
too.
first day. It looks really bad on the first day.
Okay, I just thought of one more thing. This has nothing to do with.
And then I want someone to ask a post question.
Okay, so no, I really do have something to say. Who in here, raise your hand if you are following a program right now. Davis, he yelled from the living room.
I mean, I start. Yes. We'll just
Okay.
say.
I am, but you can't see me.
I really think that following a program, especially right now in December, that was my fingernail, is the most important thing you can be doing for your business in December. I'm not kidding. And posting about it, because people want to see something that works and someone who's committed to something. And this happened last year with Max 30 with me. I didn't have a lot of people that jumped on board with Max 30 when it first launched at the beginning of December, but I think that's like the majority of what I sold in January, because people watched me do it for a month every single day and post about it every single day. Does anybody like not agree with me? Do they want to say, no, you're wrong?
I agree.
I totally agree with that. And that's my whole strategy. Honestly, I've never really followed a program. I did the 21-day fix once,
Okay.
and I always just kind of dabbled. So I'm excited to actually be sticking to something.
Yeah. And the more that you say, like I was, you know how Facebook has that on this day thing where you can like see what you posted, and it's like all my Max 30 posts coming up. And I literally was like day 1, day 2. Like I was like a crazy journalist, like documenting my whole thing. And I actually I was like poking around on Megan Blanca's blog today, and she has all the programs she's completed. She does a weekly recap of every single week while she's doing a program. And I'm definitely going to do that with Hammer and Chisel.
I like that. I think that's really smart.
She puts her like meal plan from the week in there.
I got challengers. I mean, I totally agree with you, Taylor. I think it's really important to show it every day and the feedback. I was doing the test stuff, and I got crazy interest after me consistently posting for about a week and a half every single day. All my current challengers, even the ones that aren't quite ready for the intensity level, they're like really excited because it was that build up. So I think, sticking to a program all December, building people up, and then they're like, you know what? I'm ready. Whole ham. Done.
Are you guys talking about like what weights you're using while we're having this team call?
Yes, they're not being present.
Yeah, because you know what? I know that you're like the whole multitasking is like false or something, but like I'm a unicorn when it comes to that because I totally can do it.
What?
I can multitask. I can have 2 conversations at one time and know what's going on. I'm not lying.
Did you just say you're a unicorn?
When it comes to multitasking.
No, I think you're just in general a unicorn. I support that.
I have been on the phone with Michaeline multiple times, and she's like screaming at her children at the same time, and I'm like,
And she hears everything you say. That happens to me too.
I'm like, listen, I'm on this
She
conversation.
knows what's going on.
Hey, like Katie always says, I am the true definition of a working at home mom. Like my kids don't go to like daycare and stuff. They're here 24/7 and I still get shit done.
You do. Erin has something to say.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, my focus in January, what I'm trying to plan is recruiting, like recruiting and then more recruiting.
Okay.
So I know recruiting is like a curse word, but I'm going to use it right now. So in regards to posting, what do you feel is like, we were talking about the longer or the shorter posts, it's just like, you know, story sharing, workout selfies. What do you think just in general works really well to attract people to the business opportunity?
What attracted you to the business opportunity?
Mikey just made me do it.
False. It's so false. I actually didn't even invite you to the business, which is crazy to me. Because I feel like you saw something because you were like, I think that I like want to be a coach. And I was like, totally, let's do
Well,
it.
no, you made me sign up as a discount coach, and I didn't want to do it. And then I hated my job really bad.
We lost some Sweat for Joy coaches, just so you know.
They can't handle the pressure of these questions. We only lost one, I thought.
We did only lose one.
Well, I don't know what attracted me to the business opportunity. I guess like I don't know.
Because I'm pretty much a unicorn.
Because she's
And
a
I'm
unicorn.
amazing, and she wanted to be on my team.
She told me to take the color test, and then she figured out what my color was, and then she just talked to me all the time about things that align with my personality, and then I was like, I'm in.
I would say, Michaeline, and you can say, and maybe Katie, you can even chime in, because Katie Isaac she did the refresh first, but she like had coach in her mind from the get-go. She never did a challenge group or anything with me. I would say that it's not one thing, and that your posts have to be really diverse. So you have to show it from all angles. Like you have to show that, for me, I don't say work from home. I say mobile business, because I do work full time and I'm like always in the car and always on the go. So even when I was doing the refresh, I posted pictures of me eating my food in the car and on the go, and how like all over the place I am. So I say mobile business. I don't say work from home.
I like that though. And I like those posts that say like you can work anywhere that there's Wi-Fi, because there's legit Wi-Fi like everywhere.
Yeah. And like sometimes I'll post, like this past weekend I was doing a blog from my little brother's bedroom at my parents', and I like posted about it because I was like, no. And my brother's like pit bull was sitting on my lap, and normally I have like my 3-pound Morkie. So, you know, like you can seriously do this anywhere. And I talk about that. Just, you know, how it's helped you financially, mentally, personally, fitness wise. But I don't think that there's any one post. I think you have to be like really diverse with it. Because if people keep seeing you post the same thing over and over and over, they're going to be like, I know where this is going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with your workouts. Like, I feel like your workouts can be kind of redundant. Like, at 5:30 in the morning, I know freaking Melanie Mitro is on Instagram and Facebook having already completed her workout, and I'm like, can't even like set the alarm for that early because I throw up thinking about it. But like, that's just what her one consistent thing is, and then the rest of the day is kind of whatever you think. So whenever I was saying about schedule earlier, I would say I always do my workout post, but then a personal development post or a quote or something like that, those can like interchange throughout the week. But the night before, I always have a plan written down of what's getting posted when, because I'm too all over the place throughout the day to think about that stuff on the fly.
And you use mostly your personal page, and Mikey, you use mostly your like page, correct?
I think I probably use them both, but I am more free to post like the fitness related stuff on my like page than I am on my personal, just because I get more traction on those over there.
Okay.
And I do not. I get more business traction on my like page and way more, on my personal page, I do my workouts and stuff because people, they're like, even if I go out somewhere lately with Dave, like when Dave and I go out and he runs into people that he has known from high school or college or whatever, they always say that they like see my posts.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just always keep that stuff on my personal page because there's more than just my warm market seeing that. His market is also seeing that. So I don't. What?
Yeah.
He talked about it with someone tonight.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I keep that on there. And I tag him in everything because, I mean, he's cute. There's a lot of girls on. I would say half my business is people from him.
Okay.
He likes to have a contest with me every month and see how many success points were generated from him or from me. He's winning. So
Well, I'm going to start tagging your husband in my
go
posts.
ahead, because then he'll come.
That's what I've learned.
No, tag your fiance. And even if it's just like something random, so even if it's random posts about like Marley, I'll like talk about him for a second in it and tag him in it, and then it shows up on his Facebook, and then people start to see my other posts too. I do this sometimes with my brother too. He knows I use him, but I tag him in like random things. Like about like he's out of town, so like I'll tag him in a random thing with his dog or something. I take a picture of his dog, but then right quickly after is like a workout post or something. So all those people that were liking my posts because of him being tagged in it then see my workout stuff.
Okay.
And Erin, I think for you, a good thing to talk about is not only flexibility with your schedule, but what the income for Beachbody can do for you. Because being a photographer, and you probably have a lot of photographer friends, like I'm sure they're always looking for like extra income in the seasons that are like slower.
Yeah, it's starting to work. So anybody that's new and you're just building your target audience, I'm a little over a year in. It took me about 6 months to decide like my target audience is photographers. I don't know why, but it did. But it's starting to really work. I'm getting people on my like page, and then now they're like over to my personal page a lot more. So I'm, trying to kind of muddle through that right now. But I see like I have a ton of photographer friends now that are all over, and I didn't have them before.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's good. That's awesome. Any questions? Anything else? I mean, I could go on and on about like time. Jen, yay.
This, I don't know if it's a dumb question, but I use Instagram a lot.
Uh-huh.
So whenever I post Instagram, I always say like share Facebook. Should I not do that?
No, I do that too. I share everything to Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah,
I do that
because
too.
yeah, you're.
Or should I post it separately? Like post it on Instagram and then post it
No,
on Facebook?
no, you can just share it. I just share it because then I don't have to do that post twice, and it's on both. Like a lot of people see it on both, but then whether like what you're hashtagging and whatnot, you'll get a different group of people. I actually need to I think Hannah's good with Instagram. I need to do more. That's like one of the things I'm going to do in the next 90 days is hone in on my Instagram.
it's weird. I've been seeing a lot. Like I used to see a ton of activities specifically on my Instagram. And now that I share them to my Facebook, to my personal page, I share it to both. Like I just switch it up. I get so much more engagement on my Facebook from my Instagram shared posts. So like I'll get 10 comments on Facebook and like 1 like on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I've played around with that a little bit, which is cool.
Maybe it's like an affinity thing.
Maybe what?
Maybe it's like a Facebook affinity thing.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know, it works pretty well. So I say share.
Yeah, I always share.
Everything I'm learning in this Instagram training I'm doing, it just takes a lot of time and consistency. Same thing with this business, like finding people, your target market, and it's not obviously it's everything I didn't want to hear right when you sign up for a training. But there's actually a site called Iconosquare, like Icon, and you guys may have known about this, but you can access Instagram on the computer. So to me, if I have downtime at work, that's much easier for me than trying to like look shady on my cell phone when I'm working. So, and I prefer to type on the computer too than text on my phone. That's just me. But so that's a good way to connect with people.
That's a good idea.
That to me makes Instagram more fun because on my phone I feel like I have to, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just me.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes total sense. Huh, that's interesting. I'm going to have to look at that. Any other questions?
Yeah, cool.
What?
I just said it's cool.
Oh, yeah.
You can comment and stuff like too. And
Cool.
So can I go back and tag my husband in all my Instagram posts?
Yeah.
Will that show up on everybody's newsfeed that he was tagging in 50 posts?
Do them slowly. So, like, I had my sister. Okay, so the other thing that I do oftentimes too is say you have a really post that's getting a lot of traction on Facebook, and people are commenting on it and liking it or whatever. Don't respond to their comments right away, like all of them. So sometimes I'll wait till the next day at a different traffic time on Facebook, and I'll reply to those comments because then it starts popping back up in people's news feeds again. So even if it was a great post from like yesterday, and I'm like, I'm just going to recycle this here really quick. You can just start commenting again,
cool.
and then it will pop back up.
Yeah, same thing with your like page too.
Yeah.
don't some people like go back and then tag themselves in a post, and then you see it repop up too?
Probably.
I thought I've seen coaches do that. Maybe on their like page they tag themselves or.
Oh yeah, I tag myself on my like page. The other thing I'll do is, oh my gosh, it just slipped my mind. Oh, like my own post later on. If I want it to pop back up, like my own post.
In Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That makes it pop up again?
it does. It makes it pop up again because people who are your friends are going to see that you liked something. And it's your own post.
Good idea.
Just kind of embarrassing. Who cares?
Hey, Alyssa Shoemaker does it.
She does.
Like the first like.
Yeah, she does go in there on her own, huh? I wonder why she does that.
I don't know.
I don't know. All right. Well, feel free to ask Michaeline any questions that you have. She'll be around to answer. All day.
I'm always around.
Is anyone stay for Hammer and Chisel tomorrow?
No, tomorrow's day 3 for me.
I don't.
Tomorrow is my
I
last
don't wanna
sample
do
day. What is it, Hannah?
It's supposed to be my rest day, but I don't want to rest.
I think you should rest.
You have to listen
I
to
think
them.
I might do my active rest on Saturday because that's when Josh and I try to swim. So maybe I'll do that instead.
There's no active rest in Hammer and Chisel. You take a full rest day. Hannah, don't be that girl.
Maybe.
Don't be that girl.
I gotta strike when the iron's hot. I'm digging it. I don't want to lose my mojo.
You won't. You need to take a rest day. Go do something else. Go read by a pond or something. That would interest you, I'm sure.
Okay.
All right.
See.
I will see all you guys on Flip.
Bye. Thank you. Good call, guys.
Bye. Thank you for everything.
See ya, everybody. Have a really good night.
Bye.